Right, 17 June 2024, and today I'll be giving you the evening update on our SADC protest, and I'm so excited to be hosting you, all of you here that are supporting us, and I know that a lot of you look forward to joining me for this update, and I want to assure you that we are not going to stop. So I know many people have been promised many things in the past, and everything has not materialized. So many people have come with promises, and this has not materialized, resulting in the loss of hope. But I can assure you that what we're doing here, we're going to take it to the end. This is the time when there's going to be a massive change in Zimbabwe. And I would like to promise you that by the end of August, you're going to see a massive change in Zimbabwe. Already, I'm starting to see the signs of change. And I'm starting to see people, even people in ZANU-PF, believing in what we're doing. We are just left with a little bit of some steps, and then we'll be there. I can assure you our country is going to do very, very well. We're going to have a lot of success as Zimbabweans and as young people, all the people that are all over the world, all the Zimbabweans that are all over the world, they are going to play a big part in what we're going to do. We're going to change our country, and you are going to watch us as we grow. So you can see when we started, it was me, Bishop Nyamakanga, and a few other people. Behind the scenes, all the churches have joined. There's no single church that has not joined. Even ZCC is going to join very, very, very soon. Everyone is going to be welcome to what we're doing. We're going to take an inclusive approach. And I would like to thank all the people that have called me today, offering support and also offering financial support for me to be able to stand from here to go to Botswana. You guys have bought the tickets. Now we need to finalize the travel arrangements for Bishop Nyamakanga and 20 delegates. And so I'll be making more appeals as the time goes. But we're doing very, very well. And before I forget, let me thank Tarik Designs for dressing me. So Tarik Designs, that's all my clothing. And she's going to be doing a lot of my clothing going forward. So thank you very much. I like African print, and we're going to do a lot of that. So Tarik Design, thank you very much. TarikDesigns.com. That is where you go. With that website is coming up very, very soon. You'll be able to pay from the UK, United States, and get delivery. So let's go to the topic of today. And I usually want to take you through our thinking process. Where are we? So let's start with Nelson Chamisa. So Nelson Chamisa is the person that was in the elections. Nelson Chamisa, SADC, and Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is refusing to have dialogue with Nelson Chamisa after he rigged the elections. So Mnangagwa rigged the elections. And SADC has produced the report. And the report said the election in Zimbabwe was rigged. So that is well known. 17 out of criteria were not met. And the reason why we're going to SADC is twofold. The first reason why we're going to SADC is to present the petition. Over 1,000 Zimbabweans have signed the petition. They want Mnangagwa to step down. And they also want dialogue. So those are the two things that are needed. People don't want fights. They want dialogue. And thirdly, personally, at my personal level, I'm going there to present the report on Pastor Tafmane Masaya. We're going to take it to SADC and explain that the police in Zimbabwe, led by Commissioner General Matanga, are refusing to investigate the murder of Pastor Tafmane Masaya. I'm going to take that report to SADC, and I want that to be recorded at SADC that Mnangagwa, they were involved and they are refusing to investigate the murder of Pastor Tafmane Masaya. We got lawyers right now who have presented the Freedom of Information Act form to the Commissioner General Matanga, and we expect a response. I've also written to Commissioner General Matanga on the 7th of last month, 7th of May, asking him to investigate and give us an update on the murder of Pastor Tafmane Masaya. You know that Scott Sakupanya and his employees were involved in the murder and abduction of Pastor Tafmane Masaya. We want an answer. General Matanga, we're not going to leave you. You're going to give us an answer. And Pastor Tafmane Masaya is the last person that is going to be killed while campaigning. We don't want our country to to become a murder house or a place where people get murdered who are campaigning. So we're making sure, and we're taking you to SADC, we're taking General Matanga, we're taking Mnangagwa, we're taking Skota Kukanya, we're reporting them to SADC. We're going to make sure that it's well known. And during the SADC summit, we want this to be one of the topics for discussion. And then, as I said, we've got a number of things that we need to do, which is to set up our country for success. Our country is behind, and Mnangagwa is responsible for our country being behind. And no one has got a doubt in ZANU-PF and outside ZANU-PF. Everyone knows that the problem is Mnangagwa and his family. They are the ones who are holding the country back, and this is very clear. We are not talking about half a change. We're talking about a complete change of our country. We're talking about fresh elections. So Bishop Nyamakanga said yesterday very clearly that what we want is fresh elections. So after August, when the leaders of SADC leave Zimbabwe, we want fresh elections. We do not want to continue with what we have now. So Mnangagwa has to step down. And this is something that is clear. And as I said, for now, let's not talk about anything else. Guys, we need to focus. So everything else must be on the side. Let's focus on SADC. In 3 weeks' time, the SADC Troika is going to meet in Zambia, and we need to be over there. So I'm also going to be over there in Zambia for the SADC Troika. So we've got a very busy 3 months that are coming ahead of us. Similarly, in Botswana, we need to have a structure. And I've been talking to guys from Blue Movement. I've been talking to guys from CC. I've been talking to the churches. We all need to put hands on deck and make sure that ZANU-PF cannot wriggle out of this one. Mnangagwa cannot get out of this situation that is created, and we cannot allow our country to become a mess the way it is right now. So, guys in Botswana, I'm coming over there, and we're going to spend about 3 or 4 days. But we need a structure. We need you guys in Botswana to start organizing each other, and we need something powerful. We want to leave that country. We want to leave Botswana. We want to leave South Africa. South Africa is not our home. Botswana is not our home. Namibia is not our home. Zimbabweans need to go to their homes. And that is homecoming. We want to make a very good and powerful statement at SADC so that we don't have the current situation. You know what has happened at South Africa? All the parties have come together in a GNU. In Zimbabwe, we don't want a GNU. We want Mnangagwa to step down. And after Mnangagwa steps down, we want the fresh elections because we know Kuti Chamisa has got more votes than Mnangagwa. Even if we were to hold an election today, Mnangagwa is going to lose. And it's well known. I've got no doubt in my mind. So we're not even going to need a GNU in Zimbabwe. Chamisa is going to win and we're going to have a new government. But remember, I said this is for now. This is the small portion. Political power is very small portion. What we want is a transformation of our country. All along, the political system in our country has not worked. Do you know that people in Zimbabwe have now become a problem? Like, people have started taking the characteristics of ZANU-PF, the level of dishonesty and the level of corruption in our country is now throughout the society. And we are dealing with this with Anachivayo. People now clap for these corrupt people on a daily basis because it's becoming more important to show off the ill-begotten wealth that people have got. And only when people become in trouble with Mnangagwa, then people suddenly open their eyes. Before Wikinochvaya crossed Mnangagwa, do you remember what was happening? Everyone was asking for an aqua. Do you know how many days I used to get a phone call here? Until Chivaya switched off his number. Right now, Chivaya switched off his phone. Because every day he was getting calls from people wanting cars. However, in a normal country, everyone has got a car, like a beautiful car. So we want our country to do well. And the first step is for Mnangagwa to step down, for us to have fresh elections. And Mnangagwa is clear. He understands what I'm talking about here. Now you're going to see Kuti. He is going to approach everybody and say, guys, I want dialogue. Mnangagwa wants to be stubborn. You remember when someone is going on and thinking that they cannot be told anything. That's where the phase Mnangagwa is right now. But people around Mnangagwa understand what I'm talking about. nothing is going to function with Mnangagwa in office. That is the first step. What they've done with the parliament, with the Anasengezo Chabangu, that cannot be reversed. The only way to reverse that is to go to a fresh election. The 2030 slogan is dead. And the Mnangagwa family is slowly realizing that the whole of Zimbabwe, 14, 15 million people, don't want them to do what they're doing. So let's keep the pressure on these guys, and we're not going to release. And if I drop, if I'm taken out, someone else will take over and will continue. So that is it. It's like a battle. There's nothing you can do. Whatever happens, happens on this point. And I hope that you guys are ready and willing to proceed and go forward. This time, we don't want to move back. We do not want people who are going to stop. So don't stop. Let's continue with this thing. And by the end of August, we want Mnangagwa to have stepped out of the office. And it's better if Mnangagwa was to call for dialogue. It's very easy. Mnangagwa, call for dialogue, call Nelson Chamisa, include everyone in the dialogue. You're going to see me in that dialogue. I can tell you that. In fact, you're going to see me there. We're not scared, so no one is afraid of an Mnangagwa. If you're afraid, you never rule Zimbabwe. I always tell the guys who call me here, political parties, everyone, and I say to them, if you're not in Zimbabwe, if you're afraid of Mnangagwa, you never rule Zimbabwe. You should be able to withstand anything. Look at what President Hakainde Hichilema had to do. Look at the guys in Senegal, what they had to do. So, guys, Mkoma Shumba is here. I see you, Mkoma Shumba. I acknowledge you, and I'll be back to you within 2 minutes so that we'll talk. So, what I'm saying is, young people, if you are afraid of Mnangagwa, you will not take over. So, there is no one who's going to rule Zimbabwe. Achichka, you can't rule when you're not there. And all the opposition guys in the groups, work with us. Messi, Ana Timba, Ana Promise Mkwananzi, whatever. For now, let's all forget our differences and focus on Nelson Chamisa. He's the person who was in the elections. And if we do this, we're going to succeed. All of us, if we focus on this one thing, Mnangagwa must go for dialogue. Nelson Chamisa must be in that dialogue. And at the end of August, Mnangagwa must step down. We've got a deadline, a clear set deadline. End of August, Mnangagwa must out of office. And let's have that clear message. Let's take it to Botswana. Let's take it to Zambia. And let's take it to Angola. So I'm going to make arrangements for Angola, for guys to go to Angola. We're going to make arrangements for guys to go to Botswana and guys to go to Zambia. The reason why we're going to go to Angola is because that is where the current chair sits. And Mkoma Tafanzo, I acknowledge you. So let me add the guys on the stage and let's quickly talk here while you guys are watching. How are you doing? Right. So I'm going to mute you guys, your mics for now, so that I can finish up what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is that we've had more requests to join us in Botswana, and more people are going to be coming in. And I really appreciate all the support, all the guys in Botswana. We are going to be having a vigil throughout the period from the 24th. We're going to be there. We're going to have a vigil all the way, all that week. And throughout, I will tell you when it's going to end, but it's going to take a long time. We're going to have a vigil. And we want structures. We want to know who you are in Botswana. We want to make sure that by the time we leave Botswana, you guys can organize yourself and you have a solid plan for returning home. Where we are going, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be done. So, Mkoma Shumba, I'm going to give you a chance. How are you doing?
Mr. Gambakwe, I'm fine. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. What do you want to say tonight?
For me, my concern is you guys make sure you are legit to the people of Zimbabwe, because they are following you with a trust that you can help. You as guys who are in social media, you can help us to preach the word. So please don't disappoint us, because we are trusting you. We want you to help us, to help each other, to make a change. Most people, they will get used. And please, Mr. Gambakwe, help the people of Zimbabwe to preach this word all over in Africa, all over the world, so that when victory comes, you will be also included in the victory, celebrating. So whatever is happening right now, let's be all together and fight this cancer that is in our country. We just don't need you. We need everyone. even those people who are in ZANU-PF, the young ones, maybe the old ones, it's fine with them because they have few years to die if they don't want. Now we are acting like we don't care because the old ones are the cancers also, because the whole government is affected with the old people who doesn't want to step down, and even not to step down, but to put the country in the direction where their grandkids and the grandchildren will eat from what they are sowing right now. But with the state of our country right now, it seems like we it's just gonna end. They'll be like, you know what, Zimbabweans, we have closed the same way that what they do at schools. Feel like we have closed, we have nothing to do in this country, you can go wherever it's possible. So it's crazy. We want things to change, mostly with those madalas. They are now a cancer. Honestly, it seems like their brain has frozen. They don't know what to do, and they don't think otherwise. That's all I can say.
Thank you very much, Mkoma. And I want to acknowledge what the point you've made, that we shouldn't sell out the people. And I promise you, and I've been promising a lot of you guys that we're not going to sell out and we're not going to disappoint you. This is a spiritual assignment. And Bishop Nyamakanga has made it very clear that there were prayers that were made. And this is from God. So if I disappoint you, I disappoint God. You know what happened?
Just want to add something.
Thank you very much.
Just to add something. Please help us also. There is a video on Kerina. There is this lady. She was talking more of fuzz. You need to have a look on that video and explain. There were so many confusions. And fuzz has to come out and say and explain, because the more they keep quiet, it seems like it's true, because Kerina, she has intel. So they need to explain that video so that we know we are on the same track.
Okay, I'm going to call Kerina and I'll bring you here. I know Kerina and I've got a number, so I'll give you a shout.
That will be great. Great decision.
Thank you, Mkoma, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Sure.
Sorry, Mkoma Tafanza. I'm so sorry. We were enjoying our conversation so much and we didn't greet you. How are you doing? Sorry, please proceed.
Okay, come back. The initiative is good, but I feel some of the demands are a bit on the outrageous, because the first question is, how do you expect Mnangagwa to step down or to say elections were rigged, yet the same person who was competing with Mnangagwa, was Chamisa, is no longer is no longer part of the CCC. So it doesn't make sense. Because if Chamisa was still part of CCC, in terms of saying elections were rigged or challenging the elections, it would make sense. So we cannot say, as this stands already, how the political climax is right now, we cannot reverse it as it stands, because already Chamisa has stepped down from CCC. So that will not happen. And two, SADC will not say Zimbabwe go for fresh elections. That's the truth. And SADC cannot do that. What I think some of the demands that people can do is saying, we want to stop corruption, because the moment you stop corruption, you stop everything. But to say to SADC, Zimbabwe should go for fresh elections, I think it's a practicality. I don't see it being practical. Your idea, everything is good to put pressure and everything, but I don't see the practicality on saying SADC would say to Zimbabwe, go for fresh elections. That will not happen.
Okay, I hear you, Mkoma, and I want people to know who you are so that they don't think, don't take you lightly. You've got your own radio show, and we've been talking for the past 5 years. So I appreciate what you're saying. But what I want to mention to you is that this is a spiritual assignment. So this came from a message which was sent to the churches. And it was clearly said that Mnangagwa is going to step down. So I'm not doing this for myself. It was
Let me tell you something. We've heard this thing about spiritual things for years. For years. We've been told by pastors and prophets, let's fast, let's pray. This has been happening for years. So now the question is, how is it going to be different this time? Because we've had these issues of spirituality of prophets, of pastors. You know, what Zimbabweans want, we want change. What Zimbabweans want, we want good living standards. What Zimbabweans want access to health, want access to what? To empowerment and everything. So we've been hearing these things for years.
Okay, I'm here now. So one thing you must understand is that I've been streaming for the past 675 days, and there is a massive response. So every day here, more than 20,000 people watch this very show, this evening show. I'm not talking about the morning one, which has got 50,000 people. I'm talking about this evening show. If you look at yesterday's show, it's got more than 20,000 views just on YouTube. People are engaged, and people want to come.
I'm not disputing that people are engaged, but what we're tired of as Zimbabweans is being given fake promises, being sold, you know, you got what I'm saying? Because for so many times we've been down this road, and we're saying to you, like I like what the last guy said. He said, "We're watching you, and don't let us down." As you guys say, we're also watching, both. We're a bit tired of being given fake promises. For me, I'm totally blind. I've got a disability. People with disabilities in Zimbabwe are suffering. People with disabilities in Zimbabwe don't have access to clean water, to health, access to all these kind of things. So a better Zimbabwe is a better life and a better future for persons with disabilities in Zimbabwe. So I know how painful it is as a person with disability, not having access to health, not having access to water, not having access to anything. But at the end of the day, we hear these things happening all the time.
Okay, I think let's start with the dialogue. Let's have the dialogue in place.
But the dialogue will be between who and who? That's my question.
Chamisa is in the dialogue, and SADC is going to mediate.
But how does Chamisa become in the dialogue? He was a presidential candidate under CCC. Chamisa left CCC. So how then even does SADC or Mnangagwa entertain Chamisa? But Chamisa right now is partyless. It doesn't make sense. Guys, let's be real and realistic. If Chamisa was still under CCC, dialogue with SADC or even Mnangagwa, you understand? Because right now, Mnangagwa said the person that I went to elections with was someone from CCC. He's no longer there. He's partyless. Then what? Where do we stand?
Okay, so I think let me explain how the Zimbabwe system works. In the Zimbabwe system, a president does not belong to a political party. So it's not like South Africa, where you have to become a member of a political party to become a president. In Zimbabwe, you can actually be a president.
You're talking to someone who's also a Zimbabwean. The question is, let's look at this. The question is, when Chamisa went to an election, he was under CCC. Mnangagwa was under ZANU. Chamisa then since vacated CCC. So the dialogue does not then become to say, it's Chamisa and Mnangagwa dialogue, you got what I'm saying? For me, I'll prefer, if you say there's going to be dialogue, there has to be dialogue with all the presidential candidates, who all of them who participate in the elections should be the ones who are dialoguing, because they all belong to Zimbabweans. You see, for me, you know why I'm refusing? I'm refusing this issue whereby we all think Zimbabwe belongs either to one individual or to two individuals. Zimbabwe belongs to everybody. Call all the presidential candidates who participate in the elections and let people then dialogue, and then people can find each other in order for Zimbabwe to move forward.
Okay, so in terms of that, I agree. And what we've done is we've got a group of all the opposition candidates. So every person that contested in the election and every person who is in the opposition parties, we've got a separate group. And unfortunately, I can't disclose all the other groups we have behind the scenes. But we've covered that. What you said, we've covered your concerns. And when I say we, I'm talking about, remember, I'm offering communication for Bishop Nyamakanga and the churches. So they've done a lot of groundwork. They've sent out they're planning to send out more than 300 letters. So far, they think there are about 90 letters sent out. So everyone is actually involved. But what is going to happen is, before we finish this process, sorry, you're saying, Mom?
All right, I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions. So you engage SADC. What are your timelines? Do you think SADC will say Zimbabwe should go for fresh elections?
Okay, so on the 9th of July, SADC is going to make a decision on Mnangagwa in Zambia. So that is in 3 weeks' time. And the first step is for Mnangagwa not to become the chairperson of SADC, because he can't chair SADC when he's got a report that says he rigged the elections.
So no, but look here, Gamba. Come the 9th, right? And SADC is not going to say Mnangagwa shouldn't be chair. Mnangagwa is going to be chair. Remember what Julius Malema said? Malema said, SADC is like it's like an old boys club. That was Malema's words. You get what I'm saying? So I'll tell you something. Come soon. SADC is still going to endorse Mnangagwa, what is president of the SADC. And that's reality.
Okay, then we then have to do the protest. This is what I'm saying. We need to protest the Zimbabweans, and it must be a persistent protest. And we've got that covered. This is what we're doing now. So the arrangements we're making, first, is to make sure that we talk to the people in SADC. We talk to them respectfully. We give them the information that they need. Then when they go to Zambia, if they fail to make sure that Mnangagwa is not chairperson, then we'll go to the next step. But at the end of August, that is the line. You ask me, what is the timeline? At the end of August, that is the timeline. That is the end of the negotiation phase. There won't be negotiations after that. It is another level now after the end of August.
No, Gamba, I'll be still here after end of August. I'll still come back on this platform and I'll still ask you the very same questions I'm asking you. Because what I think what Zimbabwe needs, Zimbabwe first needs the issue when you dialogue, you involve all these leaders who participate in the elections. Number two, you then need to I feel issue of human rights and stuff in Zimbabwe, human rights do not really exist, because when was the last time people ever protested against anything? You see, and two, already Zimbabweans fear for their lives, so people hence cannot protest because people after the August whatever killing that happened. And what happened after the August ANC? Nothing happened. So these things, Mamma Mia, it just pains me when I think about this issue.
I seem you're afraid for me. I'll be there. So if someone is going to die, I'll be one of the people to be killed. So that's fine. Because remember what I was saying. You've offered me a challenge, and I really take the challenge because you've been one of the people that have been talking to me here, as I said, for more than 5 years, if not more. So what I'm going to do, Mkoma, is let's take this offline, me and you. I promise you that we are not going to let you down. I know many people are afraid that we're going to let them down. And the responsibility is so heavy on my shoulders. You must understand how heavy this responsibility is on my shoulders. Because I have to be there. Most of the guys, it's theoretical to them. I'm leaving my house now. I'm going to be in Botswana for a week. I'm leaving my house. I'm going to be Zambia for a week. I'm not talking things that I'm not invested in. While most of the guys are going to be at home. All I'm asking is believe in us, and we're going to get this done. Ngoma, I have to kick you out because your 3 minutes is way up.
It's okay. All I can say is I cannot say I'm watching you guys because I can't see, I'm blind, but I'm listening and I'll keep listening to these spaces.
I appreciate everything that you've done. And please, can you tell guys where your show is right now? I want people to watch you.
My show. If they go to
are you still having a radio show?
If they go to my YouTube channel, Nyam's Escapades, but my radio show is I probably present on Galaxy Radio on Sundays 2 to 5 and on Fridays 9 to 11.
Okay, you said the Facebook page is called what?
No, my YouTube channel, Nyam's Escapades. NYAMZ.
Escapades. Yes. So Nyam's Escapades, guys, go and watch Mkoma Wangu. We've been talking for a long time. As he said he's visually impaired, but he's been running this show. He moves around all over. Are you still in Australia?
I'm everywhere. I'm like an angel. Wherever you want me, you find me.
Okay, that's great, Mkoma. Thanks very much. And I'll chat to you on cell phone.
It's okay.
All right, great. Right, Mkoma Evaristo, please switch on your volume. You're off right now. Switch on your sound. Okay, I think he's lost his volume there because I can't see him moving on my side. I can't see him moving. Mkoma Evaristo, try again. I'm going to kick you so that you can come back in. Right. So, guys, I think let's unpack what has happened. Nelson Chamisa is in the dialogue. So let's agree there. And all the guys I'm working with, all the guys agree that Nelson Chamisa is the stakeholder. So everything else, let's wait everything else. Let's wait all the other things that people are planning and talking. The only thing that we want is Nelson Chamisa is on the dialogue and Mnangagwa is on the other side. We've got a stalemate which is causing problems in our country. And there are problems that are currently there in Mnangagwa's government. Corruption, failure to deliver. Mnangagwa's government is not delivering. And we've got the murder of people like Pastor Tafumane Masaya. Those things are shameful, and we don't want those things to continue. We also have the fact that Mnangagwa has been appointing his kids in the government, and they are planning to even go further, and they have 2030 dynasty. That must stop. And everyone is agreed. Those things are not okay. My brother Yams has been saying here, people are afraid of demonstrating. We have been talking to guys in the opposition. We've been talking to Bishop Makanga. I've been talking to guys in the security services. I've been talking to people in police, in the army. No one wants a continuation of what is happening in Zimbabwe, where our country is backward and behind. The reason why I come here every day is so that we continue to discuss these issues. As you can see, the discussion is getting deeper and deeper. And we have to learn to listen to the concerns of the people. And myself, I'm listening to the concerns of everyone. And as I'm saying to you, I'll be in Zimbabwe. So if you see me in Zimbabwe and people just shoot randomly, then I'll be one of the dead people, right? So it's not a joke that I'm doing here. It's a very serious commitment, but I believe that it's a spiritual assignment. Mnangagwa cannot kill everyone. Also, you must understand that there is a change that needs to happen, and someone has to lead that change. So we can't all wait to Nelson Chamisa must do everything. So that is where we all need to organize. And I'm talking to all the guys, Ana Ostalos, Nachibaya, everyone. Let's focus on this one thing. Even Timber, when he gets out, let's all focus on one thing. The thing of dividing each other must come to an end. And at the moment, let's make sure that Nelson Chamisa gets his seat on the table and he gets the dialogue so that our country can move forward. We need a new leadership, and Mnangagwa needs to be out of office. So it's not negotiable. So I know Mnangagwa is watching here. It's not negotiable that Mnangagwa steps down. At the end of August, Mnangagwa must be out of office. Mnangagwa must have stepped down. It's a condition of the dialogue. People want Mnangagwa to step down. It's not negotiable that people want to come back home. Zimbabweans overseas want to come back home. And those are the non-negotiable issues. Fresh elections are not negotiable. And this is what I have to say. I don't want us to keep talking about the same thing over and over. And my ticket is booked. Here is my ticket. Next week, we're going to be in Botswana. And it's not a secret. So we're not afraid. There's someone who's telling me that you're going to get killed, whatever. No one is going to get killed. The Botswana government, we are in a country. Make sure nothing happens to us. Zimbabwe government will come over there. Make sure nothing happens to us. And Bishop Nyamakanga is in Zimbabwe. He's not dead. No one has killed him. So all you have to know is we have to do it. And someone has to take leadership. When we have the dialogue, we are going to make demands. And one of the biggest demands we're going to make is homecoming. And that is my focus. I've been telling the guys in the political leadership that I do not want any political position. All I'll be focusing on is bringing our country, our people from different countries to Zimbabwe. That will be my job for the next, I don't know how many years. We want our people back home. We want our country to rapidly develop. Zimbabwe can develop rapidly, but not with the way that they're doing in the Reserve Bank. So those things need to change. We need strong systems. We don't want what is happening currently. The current is a mess. The country is a mess under Mnangagwa. And we want to appeal to the people in ZANU-PF. Do something about Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa has to step down. We don't want him in that position. And find someone else to put in that position. We want a change. And we don't want the change that happened in 2017, which is a temporary change. The next person that gets into office in Zimbabwe must make our country a jewel, where you can find a job, where you can build a house. Imagine just driving from Harare to Mutare, driving from Harare to Bulawayo, hanging out at Matopos, then going to Victoria Falls in your car. You drive in the morning, in the evening, you're back. Those are the things we want. We don't want this thing that is happening now, where for no reason, the country is a dump. Everything doesn't work. And we hate what is happening. Everyone hates it. So I think we need to come to an end. Mkoba Chawana says, Chamisa knows everything that we are planning to do. We are behind each other. Chamisa, yes, at the moment, Chamisa is the stakeholder. And let's make sure Chamisa doesn't get rigged from the dialogue. So right now there's a dialogue. And SADC, they know this. They cannot make Mnangagwa the chairperson. And you see that that demand is going to be made by everyone. So I would like to thank you. We've gone for another 35 minutes too long, and I appreciate all the support you're giving us. Please go to fumojena.com and donate. We want to raise money for the bishop and his delegation of 20. Bishop has said to me today, he cannot travel without his delegation. So the money that we've raised is not enough. We need to get enough money for Bishop Nyamakanga to travel. We also have new people that have joined. And those new people are going to come. Well, you're going to see them. We're going to have a bigger delegation at SADC. And if you're in Botswana, WhatsApp me on this number. We're going to create a WhatsApp group for Botswana, and we need to start building up that group. If you're not in Botswana, if you're not 267, please don't join that group that we're going to create and share tomorrow. We want people in Botswana to join, and we need to create something that SADC cannot ignore. So let's make sure that people know that we don't want to be in their countries. But when you leave Botswana, I want you to go back to something amazing in your own country. So let's make it work. And it's our chance. This is the time. This is the time for us to make this happen. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining here. And I'll see you again at 5 a.m. in the morning. Thank you very much. And you can watch the videos that I put up. I've been going to a number of beaches during these holidays. So go check it out. Thank you very much. And